Start by creating a scene uh, with the type vehicle body 3D. Add a mesh instance to visualize the shape. Make it a box mesh and change the dimensions to something like 2 in Z and 0.5 in Y axis, so it looks a little bit like a vehicle. Now we need to add a collision shape, so go add a new node, name it collision shape 3D, and use the box mesh. Adjust these things to make it like a rectangle, and then we can add wheels, vehicle wheel 3D, and the wheels are pointing towards this direction. You can see the arrow, so we make it point towards the negative Z, which is typically the front, and we adjust the position of the wheel like this. One wheel here, and we can just simply duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D, and we can move one wheel there. Oops. But before that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select this wheel, and then I'm gonna add a mesh instance to visualize it. We can use the cylinder mesh, so just make it 0.25, and then we can just rotate it along this axis to make it like this, to make it look like a wheel. We can see that its size matches the outline of our wheel, which is also 0.5 in dimensions. So now we have a wheel. We can just adjust its position to be something like here, and then we can press Ctrl D to duplicate it, and then use this arrow to move it on the other side. And then we can select both of these wheels like this, by pressing one, and then by pressing Ctrl, and then pressing another one, and then we can just move it here, press Ctrl D, duplicate both of them, and then we can just move these two wheels here. Now our vehicle setup is complete, but we have one thing that is missing. We should use the front two wheels as the steering wheels, so select this one and then press Ctrl, click here and this one, and go to the wheel. Now this one, vehicle body 3D motion, and then check this thing, use as steering. And for the rear wheels, these two wheels, go here and press used as traction. So now our rear wheels will be used for traction, and the front ones will be used for steering. Let's save it as car.tscn, and yes, we need a script. Just name it car. We need a script, and just call it car.gd. And instead of writing the script from scratch, we can just write the script from scratch, and export variable max max steering angle in radians should be 0.5, no more than that, and max engine force should be like, I think 250 would be enough. And what we can do simply here in physics process, we can check if input dot is action just pressed UI up. We can do something, but before something, let me show you one thing. When you go to the 3D view and you select this node, you can see the motion, under motion, you can see this is the engine force, this is the brake, and this is the steering. You just need to control these values through the script. So I'm just gonna control steering to be like in positive or negative, and the wheels will turn. And if I modify the value of engine force, if I make it more, the engine will be like running more faster and the vehicle will move forward. So we just need to control these three variables through our script. I'm not gonna touch the brake one for now, for this demo, but I'm going to show you these two. So we have one name is engine force and the other one's name is steering. So when UI up, I mean the forward arrow key is pressed, we just make the engine force to be like 250, to be the max engine force. And when the back key is pressed, I mean the down key is pressed, we just change it to minus 250. And when right key is pressed, we change the steering variable to max steering angle, and for the other one we just make it minus max steering angle. UI left. Instead of these hard-coded values, we can just use the engine force variable here like this, and it will work. Now I've already created a simple demo scene which is empty, just it has a ground and environment and lights. So I'm just gonna import this car here, and we can see if it works or not. Oops, there is no camera, so I'm just gonna go back here and right click, create a new node, camera 3D, and then just move it a bit behind the car, a bit up, a bit downward, and a bit forward, and a bit upward again, and a bit backward again. Now I'm just gonna go back here, press F5 to test the car. Oops, yes, it is working, but the wheels, I mean the steering, is not resetting. When I press left, it just keeps turning left, and when I press right, it just keeps turning right. So I'm going back to the script. I'm going at the start of each frame, I'm just going to reset the steering to 0. So the steering is always reset, and in later it is turned by our inputs, otherwise it resets again at the start of each frame. Now let's test again, and yes, it is moving pretty much good, but there's one problem. I use this thing, I just remove it. I just need to remove it because it does not allow us to continuously hold. So I'm gonna do this for both of these cases. It was a mistake. Press F5 again and test, and the vehicle is pretty much good. The only problem is when I press right, it turns left, and when I press left, it turns right. So just invert these signs, and yes, it is a good vehicle. But before testing, I've seen another thing, and that was that the vehicle is either too much heavy, or maybe the suspension in the wheels are like too little. So for this problem, I think we can just move the collision shape a bit upward and it might work, or we can just reduce the weight of the vehicles. Oops, we just need to reduce the weight of the vehicle to something like I think 10 would work here. Oops, I don't know what's causing the problem, but we can just fix it. I think we can just make the suspension a bit more powerful, make it something like 0.1, and make the stiffness something like 10. It might work, but I'm not sure. So let's test it. Yes, it's better than the previous one, but anyways, what you see is that we created a vehicle and you can control all of these wheel parameters. You can play with these, and you can also select the whole car node and you can play with these and these, all of these as well. These are the rigid body attributes and these are the vehicle 3D attributes, and you can just turn this into a good car. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.